everybody knows about Honde Valley. And now this time we have decided that even those that want to run from Honde Valley, they are not paying the full registration fee. We slashed it by half. So those one, if you are local, if you are from Honde Valley, you're not paying the $20 registration fee. You're actually paying only $10. And we've got primary school kids that want to partake in the 5-kilometer race. We are just registering them. They are not paying anything. They're just coming to have fun. It's always the same races. 5-kilometer fun run. Fun run is more like if you want to walk, if you want to run, you do what you want. It's just a 5-kilometer stretch. And then we've got the 10 kilometers. That's where the elite runners start, where there's competition there with the prizes. But still, social runners also participate in that. Then we've got the 21 kilometers also for social runners and elite runners as well. Others will be competing, others will be running socially, enjoying themselves, keeping fit, wellness. And we've got the 42 kilometers as well. And remember, we also have the different categories for the masters, grandmasters, and the veterans. They also come to participate. You know, even the over 60 years old, they can come and participate and enjoy themselves. So it's encompassing everybody. Everybody has got a place at the NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon. The terrain is tough. You just need to train a bit, you know, and then you can actually know what you're doing. And you just need also to pace yourself. And my advice sometimes is just come early, even in your car, just take a drive around the terrain so that you know exactly what the terrain is like, so that you can pace yourself, you know when to exert yourself, when to relax, knowing what is ahead of you. I believe that is very critical, to actually know the terrain pace, or even take the route map. You know, we are posting the route map a lot, the elevation and everything, so that you can actually know what the terrain is all about. We encourage people to actually take that information very well, so that they know what they are encountering.
Hello, hi, welcome to Score Big with NetOne. My name is Tendaisman, and this is the show that brings you closer to your favorite artists, your personals, even former footballers, former athletes. And today we have a special guest who's going to be helping us prepare in regards of the NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon. His name is Sir Charles, and he goes by the name Sir Charles Fitness. Sir Charles, it's incredible to have you here, and I'm excited. You are now a Zumba, what do you call it, a Zumba player, a Zumba master, cannot Zumba.
Aerobics, fitness instructor, yeah.
Aerobics. So yeah, let's get into it. You're a former footballer yourself.
Yeah, yes.
Played for Caps United, I understand.
Caps United.
And then where did we get to that point where we now said football is done? Now let's get to aerobics. Let's get to fitness. Let's get to fitness training. How did that begin?
I think it was after 2013 that I decided to leave the beautiful game and focus on being a fitness trainer. And I'm honored now. It's coming up well. And Sir Charles Fitness is now an established brand, working with big brands also,
exactly,
like NetOne.
Amazing. So now that we're talking about how you came up, it's because of football. Football came to an end. You played, you had a very good career, and now you're doing fitness. But before, Sir Charles, before Caps United, there was a little boy. Who was that little boy? Who was Sir Charles? Where did he grow up? How did he fall in love with sport? And how did we get to see this man finally evolving?
Okay, Charles Manjera was born in Shamva in 1983. I grew up in Harare, partly in Tomlinson Depot, where I attended Tomlinson Depot Primary School. Then we moved to Chitungwiza, where we spent the better part. Then I went to Bernard Mzeki College, where I did my Form 1 to Form 4. Then Form 5 to Form 6, I was at Cremon Boys High.
Cremon Boys High.
Yeah.
And then during those days, were you always athletic, or you were so much focused on school? Because I understand you went to Bernard Mzeki,
yeah,
Marondera, such a cold area. It needed you to be fit. Were you always athletic?
Football was always in me, and I think that was the basis of what is happening today. That was the foundation, because I love football, but I thank my parents for giving me an opportunity to go to an established school like Bernard Mizeki, it gave me a better view of life, you know, and to make correct decisions in life. Then I realized that for me it was sport and sport all the way.
Sport all the way.
Yeah.
I also went to Bernard Mzeki. This is why it's quite exciting for me because when you go to a same-sex school, people don't understand what really happens there. But I also believe there's discipline that gets instilled in you, discipline that maybe you don't get in mixed schools that you get at a boys' school. How was that life for you, being at Bernard Mzeki at that time?
Yeah, life at Bernard Mizeki was tough. It was tough because sometimes you have to do things that you don't like, but they are shaping your career, they're shaping your future. And you get to be organized. It's a person who goes to a boarding school. There are some traits that hardens you, that makes you a better man. A better man. With all due respect to some schools, but there are things that really shapes you.
And then, so did the love for football, was it from primary, or the love of football came when you were now maybe understanding life, maybe as a teenager, you're now in high school? When did the love of football come?
I think I was born for football.
Yeah.
I was born for football. I was born to be a sports coach. It all started at a tender age. Even at primary school, all I loved was just football. You know, I remember my uncle, Mr. Manonende, he always say I would carry, you know, a picture of Moses Chunga in my bag and put it there to school. So it was football. It was football all the way. You know, my parents taking me to Rufaro Stadium to see Dynamos, to see Cape United. So it all started at primary school. Then at Bernard Mizeki, it was, you know, schools football at that time. It was a culture. It was massive. So they at Bernard Mizeki would play Peter House, would play What Love, St. Anne's Goto, all those schools. And it was war. It was war. It's unbelievable. It doesn't seem like it was just ordinary school football. Even to now, we talk about it. That is where I met the likes of Johannes Ngozo. You know, we played at the national finals, the Coca-Cola finals.
Yeah.
You know, so that is... everything was ingrained
at that school.
At that, because it was massive, you know. Yeah.
And then now we are talking about fitness. Do you think the resilience, the perseverance, the need to continue to go on even when you're tired can be traced back to those school days when you're playing against the likes of Johannes Ngozo, when you're playing against Peter House, when you're starting to become a man? Do you look at it and say, maybe my love for it came at this moment?
Yeah, definitely Bernard Mizeki was a masterstroke, because there you are taught that we cannot lose to Peter House.
We can't.
Even when the chips are down, we cannot lose to What Love. You know, all those things. So it helped me a lot.
It helped you a lot.
Yeah.
And then, since this is the Score Big with NetOne moment, we always talk about your biggest moments, even as a kid, growing up, becoming a fully established fitness trainer. As a kid, what was your Score Big moment? What was that moment that made you realize yourself, maybe I'm the Charles? Maybe in a group full of other kids, I am that guy.
I think there are two key moments. You know, school football was so hard for you. Like you get to a school where you have Form 1s to Form 6.
Yeah.
And then in Form 3, I was the first boy to be picked at Bernard Mizeki to play for the first team. And I was in Form 3. Then 1 year later, in 1999, I guided Bernard Mizeki to the Coca-Cola finals in Bindura, where we met Zilikazi in the final. That is where I realized, you know, the views from people, everyone saying, no, but you can go far with your career.
You're actually a good footballer.
And then from there, I was at Cape United. I went to Cape United. Years later, Johannes Ngozo was at Highlanders. It all started from there.
It all started from there. We're going to be talking about Cape United later. But there's always one thing. Whenever you start doing sports, we grew up in a nation that focuses on education. It's only now that, you know, the chips are changing. Parents are telling their kids.
It was tough.
It was tough, obviously.
It was tough. It was tough. Even in the initial stages, even my parents, you know, they had the support. They wanted me to play, but to balance school, and it was tough. But I don't know, maybe it was a calling from God. I just kept pushing and convincing them.
How did you convince? Because that's the most exciting part. I remember myself at some point I wanted to play rugby, and to break that news to my father, I knew it was a non-starter to begin with. But then you furthered your career. How did you convince the parents that, you know what, Charles is actually a footballer? Come watch him. It's going to be great.
Okay, when I was in Form 5, I was already playing for a team called Zeta Rabi Tomlinson that was in Division 1. So I was 17 then. So now I was getting some money, and you coming home and say, yeah, mommy, you can have this, dad, you can have this. So they began to see the light.
They began to see light.
Yeah.
So we can say now that there was some retains, it was easy for them to understand the vision of a young Charles.
Yeah, of course, but still they wanted me to pursue with my education and try to balance, so that you never know what happens in the future.
And then when you're looking at your life as a young Charles, are there key memories that you want to live again? Whenever you look maybe at high school, you look at primary, you'd say, this is definitely what I would want to do again.
I can say, you know, the unity that was there in schools, you know, doing things for a purpose, the vibe that we had. There are things that are priceless that you cannot revisit, but you know, being at one school, you know, singing, you know, doing something for one cause, you know, is something that I always cherish.
You always want to do that again.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously. So we continue the conversation with Say Charles Fitness. Remember, fitness is not his synonym, but it's his brand, what he's doing. Now, we've been talking about him in the first segment, talking about his childhood, where he's going, and also what he's going to be contributing in terms of the NetOne Albun Honde Marathon. So we're going to go on a break, and we come back and continue with this fantastic conversation.
Everybody knows about Honde Valley, and now this time we have decided that even those that want to run from Honde Valley, they are not paying the full registration fee. We slashed it by half. So those one, if you are local, if you are from Honde Valley, you're not paying the $20 registration fee. You're actually paying only $10. And we've got primary school kids that want to partake in the 5-kilometer race. We are just registering them. They are not paying anything. They're just coming to have fun. It's always the same races. 5-kilometer fun run. Fun run is more like if you want to walk, if you want to run, you do what you want. It's just a 5-kilometer stretch. And then we've got the 10 kilometers. That's when the elite runners start, where there's competition there with the prizes. But still, social runners also participate in that. Then we've got the 21 kilometers also for social runners and elite runners as well. Others will be competing, others will be running socially, enjoying themselves, keeping fit, wellness. And we've got the 42 kilometers as well. And remember, we also have the different categories for the masters, grandmasters, and the veterans. They also come to participate. You know, even the over 60 years old, they can come and participate and enjoy themselves. So it's encompassing everybody. Everybody has got a place at the NetOne Albun Honde Marathon. The terrain is tough. You just need to train a bit, you know, and then you can actually know what you're doing. And you just need also to pace yourself. And my advice sometimes is just come early, even in your car, just take a drive around the terrain so that you know exactly what the terrain is like, so that you can pace yourself, you know when to exert yourself, when to relax, knowing what is ahead of you. I believe that is very critical, to actually know the terrain pace, or even take the route map. You know, we are posting the route map a lot, the elevation and everything, so that you can actually know what the terrain is all about. We encourage people to actually take that information very well, so that they know what they are encountering.
Welcome back. You're still watching Score Big with NetOne, brought to you by NetOne, Zimbabwe's leading telecommunications company. And we are in conversation with Say Charles Fitness. We are unpacking your life, and the build-up is towards when we get to November.
Yes.
Day is a marathon.
22 November.
22 November. You're going to be part of it. But before that, people have to understand who Say Charles is. and we've been doing it since the first segment.
Yeah.
Now you become a footballer. You are now playing for Caps United. How did you end up playing for one of the biggest clubs in Zimbabwe?
Okay, I was in the junior ranks of in the academy of Caps United, so it was a bit tough to have the breakthrough to the first team. So it sometimes we got loaned to first division team so that we can really be strong.
Yeah.
So in 2004, I was part of the first team squad picked by our coach Charles Mtlauri.
Yeah.
The team later on won the championship, but I was loaned to Douglas Warriors in 2004. Then 2005 I was back at Caps United. That is when I started to play.
Regularly.
Remember, yes. And NetOne
At that time.
they were our official sponsors
Amazing stuff.
at Caps United. So it's amazing we are here preparing for the NetOne Honde Valley, and still NetOne is.
So it's a
in the
journey
mix.
that you can look at and say you've been partners since time immemorial.
I've been NetOne and NetOne
Amazing.
from then, yeah.
Amazing. So now you are playing for Caps United. You launched to Douglas. I remember I had a conversation with you some time back, and the things that you said that you wish you had known earlier. We are talking about sports science. We are talking about fitness. We are talking about diet. I remember vividly you saying, back in the day, we didn't have the privilege that athletes have right now. You could eat salsa 2 hours before a game because there was no such knowledge.
Yes.
And this is what has prompted you to get into fitness.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How did you manage to keep yourself fit at a time where fitness maybe was not a concern that much?
I just tried to be the best version of myself, and I looked ahead. The fire, the veiled fire, the awareness in the country was growing slowly. So I just prepared myself to say, okay, wellness and fitness has become the major thing in the country. So I have to prepare myself for the future. So I just kept working hard, getting in the gym, doing my classes every day, and yeah.
And then when you look into now and that Charles from 2004, do you believe you could have had a longer career if we now started applying the fitness, the wellness, the science that we now put into our players? Because now if you look into supposedly a Walter so who plays for Scotland, there's so much conditioning, there's so much training that goes into that probably you guys didn't get at that time. Do you look at them and say, these guys are so blessed, only maybe if we had such, we could have had maybe lengthy careers?
Yeah, of course, true. Back then, we did not have like personal trainers. We did not have much time for the gym. Okay, we could go to the gym as a team, but it was not well structured. It was not in the scientific way that the water musonas, the knowledge musonas, the capability they have now. Even the rest periods of the athletes, it was not on point.
It was not on point.
Even the way we ate, you know, even before a game, nyama, beef, but 2 hours later you're playing a game. But we needed somebody who could tell us, no, this is not good. 2 hours going to the match, you mustn't eat this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So now that we have viewers across Zimbabwe and across the world, and fitness is the main reason you're here.
Yes.
You have your own brand, say Charles Fitness. Now let's talk to the viewers.
All right.
What does one need to do? You feel you want to exercise, but then you don't know how to exercise. You're talking about the food. How do you know what to eat, when not to eat, when to exercise, and how to go about it?
Or basically, exercise can start anywhere, wherever you are, maybe in the rural areas, in the city. For example, you can just start by getting up in the morning. You start with a walk, 5 kilometer walk, or you can do a walk run, depending on how you're feeling, on your fitness level. So training, it doesn't matter where you are. You just have to create time, because by exercising, you are prolonging your life. You are running away from a lot of non-communicable diseases.
Amazing. And then the food, it's always amazing, because they say losing weight or maintaining weight starts in the kitchen. And then there are people who believe the more you work out, the more you eat. Let's clear that area out.
Okay. They say, eat what you can burn. So people come in different shapes and sizes. It's not all about weight loss.
Okay.
It's about fitness. It's about wellness. It's about being healthy. So you could go to the gym, but someone will not lose weight. But you can see that this person is well toned and is fit and is healthy. Okay. So it's not all about people saying, I want to go to the gym, I want to lose weight. Of course, you have to lose excess fat.
Excess fat.
Excess fat you have to lose. And then you have to know what to eat. Like eating a lot of salsa in the evening doesn't help.
Okay.
You gotta eat maybe in the afternoon whereby you're busy and you can burn.
Like you
said, it's all about discipline.
Yeah, because we're
It's all about
conditioned
discipline.
after a very long day. Okay,
but when you eat a lot of salsa in the evening, then what? What do you use that salsa for?
to sleep then.
So you can have a lot of starch maybe in the afternoon whereby you are busy and you can burn that starch.
And then there's one thing that you talked about, but we didn't get to it in detail, the rest period. Athletes, people who are into fitness, they are supposed to rest, and sleep is important. How is one supposed to structure their sleeping arrangements or the sleeping program or their sleeping schedule? How important is rest period?
Yeah, I would want to talk about rest period probably in relation with the Honde Valley Marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, you are training hard, and then there are 2 days to go to the Honde Valley Marathon on 22. But on 19 November, you're still working hard. Maybe you're running 21 kilometers. On 20 November, you're still running 21 kilometers. And then you want to compete. That is when you will see a lot of injuries during the race. So it is important when somebody trains to really know at this point now you have to rest and let the body heal so that it is well conditioned for the Honde Valley Marathon. You see, it is a tough course, you know, especially for those who are going to do 21 and 42.
Yeah.
So it is important for all the athletes to seek advice on how they can handle their bodies well.
In terms of resting before the
It's
initial
not
race.
about training only.
Yeah.
It's also about how you rest, because training and resting, they go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because whenever you talk about rest, someone would then be perceived as lazy.
No. It's not like that.
So like that.
Yeah.
And then we are going to be talking about the Honde Valley Marathon. You talked about the 42 and the 21.
Yeah.
Have you been part of those courses yourself?
When I'm going to Honde Valley, I'm going as a fitness coach to do aerobics, you know. Okay, firstly, we do warm up with the athletes to prepare them, the mind and the body, so that when they start the race, they don't get injuries, you know. Everything is on point, you know. The muscles are ready, the mind is ready, and then they can start the race. Then after the marathon, when they come, we do our aerobic stuff. We bring a vibe, you know, to the people. They are loosening their body, they are enjoying, and then the cool down, you know, scientifically structured so that
they have that.
It becomes a package,
It becomes a package.
Yeah.
So remember, this is a conversation we are having in preparation for the 22nd of November. That is the NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon. Everyone is promising to be there. So you also have to get your ticket and be there. So this is a conversation I'm having with Sage House. We're going to go on a break and we come back and look at the details of what we can expect when we get to the 22nd. Welcome back. You are still in conversation with Sage House, and now we're about to get into a segment where we wrap everything up, talking about his lifestyle, talking about how he became a player for life after football, and eventually the Honde Valley Marathon, that is the NetOne Albun. You touched in brief before this end of the second segment.
Yeah.
We were talking about what you're going to be bringing. But now let's get into it in full. You are Sage House.
Yes.
Sage House is in partnership with the NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon. How are you going to be making sure that people notice, people feel that Sage House is here? What are you going to be offering? What are we going to be getting? And what is the rest of the world going to be seeing from Sage House?
Sage House Fitness is coming with my team of coaches. We're gonna do our best to make sure that they have fun. You know, it is a package in terms of the marathon, the beautiful Honde Valley. So Sage House is also promoting sport tourism in partnership with NetOne. So Sage House is gonna be giving you the best of the aerobic session after the marathon. So all the viewers, wherever you are, get ready for some amazing stuff. And I think that is from me.
And then after being part of maybe the 42 kilometers or the 21 kilometers, will an individual still have the power or the energy to do aerobics? How do they go about it? How do you make sure that maybe after, or these are two different classes of athletes on the day? How do you make sure that someone is just running a longer event will come in and do your aerobics?
For 42-kilometer runners, it's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Honestly, but 5, 10, and 21, most of them they will get in and enjoy. But even the 42 kilometers, because remember we need to cool down and stretch after a long workout. You cannot just finish a race and then you leave. You need proper stretches so that tomorrow you're okay, you don't feel the pain, and you don't have injuries in the future.
And then I understand you are also catering for all age groups. We're talking kids, we're talking about the young ones, the elderly, even professional athletes, and those ones that are just going to be there because they want to support sport tourism. They are there because NetOne is a big brand. They are there because they want to be part of it. Yeah. How do you cater for someone who's 5, 15, 25, or maybe 62 years of age?
So you see, when we go on stage, usually we have 3, 4 trainers. So there's always the basic way, the basic version of an exercise, and then there's always the advanced way to exercise. So we'll make sure that in the crowd there are also coaches who are there, so they will be doing some demonstrations to say, okay, this is an elderly man, this is an elderly woman, this is the type of exercise that you can do, so that it doesn't harm them.
So in you saying that, it means the invitation is for each and every age group. No one is being left out.
No way say everyone is invited to Honde Valley. When I say Marana Manyama essay, we inviting everyone to Honde Valley. Those who are in Zimbabwe, those who are in the diaspora, let's come to Honde Valley.
And then there's also one thing that I want us to talk about. Maybe I want to run.
Yeah.
How would you condition a Tendai that has never been on such a terrain? How do you make sure that I am in the best shape? I am going to maybe not accumulate lactic acid. I'm just going to be there. No matter if I finish last, I'm just going to finish the course. How do you condition someone who hasn't been part of that?
People come with from different zones.
Yeah.
For example, we've got elite runners. Those are already in an advanced period to exercise. So what I would suggest is all those who are not really fit, you don't have to have that pressure to say this guy is moving at this pace.
Okay.
You can just walk. It's fine.
It's fine.
You can just walk, or you can just do a walk and you do a run until you complete, so that you don't damage your body.
I think you need to really emphasize on the part that walking is also exercise and walking is fitness, because many people, especially I'm going for a walk.
If you're going to walk 5 kilometers, I tell you, especially in Honde, it's a very big exercise. It's a win for us.
It's a win.
It's a win for everyone.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then now we have talked about you. There's one thing I also read that you do. It's fitness, wellness, aerobics. There's a part that said Sage House also does Zumba. How do we get to Zumba? How is Zumba Because when I look at Zumba, Zumba is dancing.
Zumba is dancing.
How do we engage the two? How do we combine the two, Zumba and fitness and wellness?
Okay, basically St. Charles Fitness, our emphasis is much more on aerobics.
Yeah.
And then within St. Charles, we also have young fitness instructors that gonna do Zumba. So we've got some excitement. It's a surprise, you know. We do our aerobics and then we also put some Zumba there. We've got some young people that are coming in.
Exciting.
Exciting. Yeah.
So it's going to be.
It's going to be a package.
It's going to be a package.
Yeah.
So it's a surprise. We're not letting any people.
No.
Up until we get to the 22nd.
Yeah. Let's get to 22 November and you'll see.
And we'll see. So as we're about to close the segment and close the show, what would you want to tell Zimbabwe and the rest of the world in relation to who St. Charles is and what we can expect come the 22nd? Anything that is going to be of help to people who haven't bought their tickets, maybe to people who haven't registered, because I'm also in understanding that in terms of how you're going to get access to it, $20 for each and every race, be it the 5, the 10, the 21, and the 42, that is for people who are not Honde Valley locals, and then $10 for the Honde Valley locals, and kids, it's free of charge. What do you want to say to Zimbabwe as we prepare? It's almost a month away. What do you want to say to Zimbabwe?
I want to say to all the people in our country, please, let's prepare, let's go to Honde Valley, let's explore the beauty of our country in relation to our fitness goals, our life. The moment we are training, it is good for us as a nation, it is good for our families, it is good for us as individuals. It's not about luxury. No.
Luxury.
It's beyond that. So NetOne has given us a beautiful place, a beautiful zone to all meet as Zimbabweans and explore our country and run the NetOne Honde Valley Marathon. So I just want to say, guys, don't miss out. Honde Valley is the thing. Honde Valley.
Before I say goodbye to the viewers, munonditendera kubvisa desk mbijana. Mungotiratidza kuti mune muchikika semakumbo musi wa22. Hazvina kuibva.
It is well.
It is well. So I'll just remove the desk here and mungotiratidza, then I'll say goodbye to the viewers.
It is well.
So I'm with St. Charles and he's just going to do a little bit and then by side page chingotibatsira tichiita atete.
All right.
So gatite. So atotanga sei apa. Okay. 2. Okay.
Let's go.
1.
Punch.
Let's
go. Honde, are you there? Let's go. Honde Valley, NetOne, are you there? Push it up. Woza. Up. Let's go. Push it up. Oh yeah. Honde Valley, are you there? NetOne.
Amazing stuff.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. So this was the conversation I was having with St. Charles Fitness. He's pumped up. He's ready for the 22nd of November, the NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon. He says he's going to be there. What's the reason for you not to be there? So remember, this was the Score Big with NetOne, brought to you by NetOne, Zimbabwe's leading telecommunications company. I'm Tendai, and until next time, it's a big goodbye.
From Auna Business Center into the banana plantations, up and down the terrain, crossing the revered Pungwe River, comes the scenic water reservoirs and tea plantations of Honde. It was the most difficult terrain I've ever encountered, but they came and conquered. Having already hosted participants from across Africa, the NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon is a masterclass of destination marketing that can go a long way in developing new and interesting reasons to visit our national places of interest.
I just did 10 Ks, grueling in the sun, in the heat. The marathon was hard, I don't want to lie, but yeah, what's fulfilling for me is that I finished the race. So it was a good marathon, good route, good exercise for me. Benefit, so I really loved the marathon, well organized.
Terrain kunaka, it was great. Thank you NetOne, thank you the big brands that supported Albun.
The Honde Valley Marathon is just exciting. It's a tough course indeed. They gave us a challenge Then we came and conquered the challenge. It was an enjoyable race. So I thank the organizer a lot. It's quite a good job for us as athletes.
The experience, it was good. The people, they are friendly and lovely. Also the terrain, when you are running, the beauty of the terrain. Also, it was not a difficult event because this year's edition, a lot of giants were here. So it was tough.
Nasi ndamanya 21 kilometers. Ndine makore 67 years. Not kune NetOne rambai makadaro. Next year, itai futi the same zvamatitira nhasi.
I did my 5-kilometer marathon. I enjoyed the terrain and the beautiful views of Honde Valley. It was wonderful. It was marvelous.
NetOne remains committed to preserving natural resources, promoting sustainable practices, and fostering a sense of responsibility towards the environment. The NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon is a sign of the company's dedication towards corporate social responsibility, as well as promoting health and wellness of the company's existing and potential customers.
The scenery is quite breathtaking. It's quite nice, quite lovely in the Honde Valley. And I think as this run gains momentum, it will soon attract international visitors, thereby marketing Honde Valley as a tourist destination.
I grew up here in Honde Valley myself. That's my home area. I actually went to school this area, so I'm very familiar. But today is Honde Valley. As you can see the view, it's a very good view. We're participating well.
Today I ran 10 kilometers first. Shout out to NetOne for organizing this wonderful marathon. Honde Valley is a beautiful place, and thank you NetOne for this opportunity as it is promoting local tourism as well.
I drove all the way to Honde Valley just for a marathon. And one thing I enjoyed was the view and the mountains. They were so inspiring. And I also know that I should always stay fit by going to different types of marathons. And I can gain more, more energy and stuff.
This is my second time to participate in the NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon. But hey, you can never. The terrain remains the same. It's tough, but the view, the scenery, it's beautiful. So it makes running so easy. So we had fun, I enjoyed. I will do it again next year.
Zvakare zvinotiunzirawo mainvestors kunzvimbo dzedu vanokwanisawo kuuya vachitoonawo manakiro akaita environment yenzvimbo dzedu vachionawo zvimwe zvakawanda zvavanoda zvinogona kutisimudzirawo kuti tiwanewo zvekuita.
And I've just survived the 21-kilometer race here in Honde Valley, the NetOne Albun Marathon. It's the most challenging thing I've done this month, and I applaud runners. I applaud everyone, even those who were in the 5, the 10, the 21, the 42, because the hills are brutal. And I'm very impressed by the level of interest in fitness that has taken the country by storm, and I hope it's sustained. It's just positive vibes here, the new friends that we make on the race. There's so much camaraderie. People who don't know each other, wishing each other well, they're giving each other water. And I want to thank those who made the race possible behind the scenes.
So the experience has been fantastic, and I would like to thank everybody who has participated. It's amazing that people came from across the entire country, Bulawayo, Harare, Mashonaland, East, Central and West. I'm amazed. This is part of our corporate social responsibility, giving back to the communities where we serve. And health is one of those pillars that we support, which is in part of the National Development Strategy 1. We are bringing wellness awareness to the community. And as you know, government policy actually announced that we take time off to exercise. And we are participating in that and making sure that mentally we remain fit, physically we remain fit, and then we will be able to be productive. So I'm sure most people have seen it, that once you participate in wellness, you only not be managing your health, but you also become more productive. We want to grow this marathon to be one of the biggest, not only in Zimbabwe, but in Southern Africa. After that, I think we should take it even higher than that.
The 2024 NetOne Albun Honde Valley Marathon was not just a race. Rather, it was a platform for positive change and community engagement.
We are excited that we managed to do exactly what we came here to do. We showcased Honde Valley. People came in to have fun, to enjoy, and also doing their fitness workouts. And we are happy now. They are having fun, the aerobics and everything. The business exhibition, you can see all the companies that are here. I am thankful to the people that came, the runners that came this year. They came in numbers. We really appreciate that, because without the runners, there's no marathon. So we want them to come again next year. Hopefully, like this year, we tripled the number. So we also want to triple the number again next year. It's going to be exciting, bigger and better next year.
Thanks to legend Alois Bunjira, NetOne, and other partners for making this a reality.
Thank you, NetOne. Shout out to NetOne. Thank you, NetOne, for bringing us here. It was good. It was amazing. Please do it again next year.